What's up everybody, my name's Man of the Jedi and today's just another episode where I yell in front of the camera. Now before we get started with this, I would just like to point out that everybody has their own opinion of things. Everybody has different things that they like, everybody has different things that they dislike. Basically all I want to say is don't take my opinion on this at face value. See it for yourself if you really want to. So just so I clarify, most of this is going to be spoiler free. I'm not going to go into too many plot points. I will be very clear when I'm going to a realm that is spoilery. So without any further ado, let's get into the Suicide Squad review.
All my friends are heathens, take it slow.
If you guys don't remember, a couple weeks ago, I said I was going to be seeing Suicide Squad when I went to Toronto in the VIP theater, and I said that if I ended up liking that movie, if I actually thought it was a good movie, I would dump a tub of G Fuel on my head, and I think we determined that powder was probably going to be the worst thing that could happen, so... yeah, no, sorry, it wasn't that great. And I'm not just saying that to spare myself the hassle of dumping an entire tub of powder on top of my head. You all should know by now that I'm fully willing to do very stupid things for these videos. But it's actually that I cannot honestly say that it was a good movie. But before we get into any of the negatives, we're gonna start with some positives, because it's always good to start things off on some positive notes, and I do like giving people credit where credit is due. So overall, a lot of the characters actually did a really good job with this movie. Contrary to my initial beliefs, I think Margot Robbie actually did a great job as Harley Quinn. Is it Robbie or Robbie? I don't really know. I think the fact that it's Margot and like it's but Margot Robbie did an amazing job as Harley Quinn. And while she's not your traditional 1992 Harley Quinn with like the full get-up suit, that kind of works for the tone of the movie, and it just kind of has a little bit more of a modern feel to it. In terms of the character itself, I think she did a great job pulling off the attitude, everything the characters really stood for over the years. She had little quirks, a lot of the like kind of like sinister aspect of the character while still being playful and fun. On top of that, one of the top billed actors was obviously Will Smith, and he did a lot more for Deadshot than I was expecting there as well. Overall, he did a really good job portraying the newer like anti-hero, good guy who does bad things role that they were going for with the Deadshot, who's just trying to support his family. So overall, the relationship that they showed on screen with his daughter was really good. It was refreshing. Let's just take a moment to actually acknowledge the fact that Deadshot's daughter will probably end up being a more well-adjusted member of society than either of Will Smith's actual children. Overall, I think he did a great job interacting with the people around him, the cast work. He really brought himself to another level, which you kind of expect of Will Smith. On top of that, the Australian man, Boomerang, did a really good job. He was fun to watch. He was fun to have on screen. No complaints about him. Other than that, I thought that Cara Delevingne did a great job as June Moon and a pretty decent job as Enchantress, even though most of it was kind of like weird and over-vocalized. I don't even know, some weird voice changer stuff going on there. She did a really good job with what she was given. I just really don't like the route that they went with the character in the movie. And I'll touch on the note of why I think she should have been used in a different way as we get onto the negative aspects of the movie. I don't want to touch on it now because I don't want to give any spoilers away, but for all the complaints I'm going to have about it, there were some redeeming qualities, just not enough for me to say that it was a good movie that I would want to watch again, and that's why nothing's getting dumped on me today. Let's get into the negative stuff. Some of this stuff might start venturing into the realm of spoilery, but it isn't going to get spoilery, like fully spoilery, until the very end. First thing is poor marketing. Why the fuck is this idiot's face everywhere? Why is he on every poster? Why is he in every little bit of marketing? I get it. People like the Joker. People think the Joker was cool. The movie doesn't have enough Joker in the plot to sustain him being in all of these different posters. I'm pretty sure there's actually an active lawsuit against DC and Warner Brothers Studios for using him in too many promotional materials because people thought they were going to be seeing a different movie. And I don't blame them. If you didn't look into the movie, if you just went by the trailers, if you just went by all the posters that were everywhere, you would probably think that the Joker is the main fucking character of this movie. And secondly, I fucking hated him. Honestly, Jared Leto was trying to go for this really deep, shocking character of like performance art, but the most shocking thing about his character was the shit that he did to the cast members behind set. Though I am going to quote my friend Kat, who likes to point this out every time we talk about it. Jared Leto sends decapitated pig head to cast members, and then in like a little script underneath it in that secondary header, Suicide Squad receives PG-13 rating. Clearly the shit's not getting that fucked up with the PG-13 rating. And I can't even blame most of it on Jared Leto because half of it is the fucking design of him. Like, one of the things that you can say about the Joker is that he's mostly timeless. Yes, Ledger's did kind of get a little bit weird. It was kind of darker, that fit that tone, but you can still look at him, 50 years down the road and not say, what the fuck was going on with them when they made that movie. I think the best thing that Leto could take away from this is that theatrics don't equal substance. It honestly just seems like an over-the-top fan trying to emulate some kind of Joker attitude, which is why he reminds me of those like weird little things from Batman Beyond. There were parts of his acting that were pretty decent, but overall, like, there was just nothing there. There's nothing that intrigued me about that character. There's nothing that would make me want to go back to a character like that. Moving on from that, Killer Croc was just fucking terrible. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were trying to go with like the weird hood attitude with him, but like the level of speed that he spoke and the type of dialect they were trying to get him to use just didn't match up. Like, I could tell you exactly what I think it sounded like, but it's not at all politically correct, so I'm just not gonna touch that with a fucking pole. Either way, I thought he was terrible, and every time he said anything, I cringed hard enough to feel bad for everybody else in the theater with me. And overall, absolutely everybody else was pointless and forgettable. Yes, even Captain G.I. Joe Man. Oh yeah, then this guy. This guy, I guess, wasn't that bad. I don't really know what to say about him. He wasn't terrible. I guess my main complaint about this movie is that it really felt like 6 movies trying to be one. There were tons of origin stories that both felt too long and too short. I feel like there probably would have been a better way to introduce a lot of these characters. I guess I just didn't really like the method of delivery. My biggest complaint about any movie is that while I'm watching it, I realize that something is wrong if I get pulled out of the viewing experience and immediately think, I would do this differently, I would do this better, especially if I can think, hey, this would have worked better. The movie has failed. There were so many moments in that movie that I got completely withdrawn from the viewing experience and just thought that this is stupid. That, in my mind, means the movie failed at its job. Now, despite all that stuff, despite the fact that it kind of felt like 6 movies trying to be one, my major complaint is the actual plot. I thought the story was stupid. I thought the decision they made and the story they went with was stupid. Because this is the point. If you don't want any kind of spoilers to the actual plot of the movie, skip ahead to wherever I have on screen here. So basically, they end up going with Enchantress being the main villain against the squad. And I'm not saying that Enchantress is a bad villain, but I thought it was stupid and ended up making a stupid movie with a stupid plot point with too much going on. Honestly, the most convenient thing that they could have done in this movie was make the Joker the antagonist. That way you can put the Joker in a bunch of it, people will love it because the Joker's there, and secondly, you can deal with the fact that Harley Quinn might hate the Joker and that the Joker's kind of an asshole. Because the big thing there is that this specific antagonist was like a meta-human type thing. She is like an otherworldly power. Harley Quinn has no marketable skills other than the fact that she's completely fucking deluded and can kind of scrap well. And that's why the Joker would have made the best antagonist. Because if you used Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad and had her a part of that team when you're trying to catch the Joker, that's all you need. And I'm not saying that she has to be the damsel in distress. She's just the lure. I think she could very well beat the shit out of the Joker and totally take him down by herself if she needed to. I get it, they were just using any kind of villain they could, so if somebody died, it didn't really matter. But Harley Quinn's actually an asset when the Joker is running around all willy-nilly and you know that he's alive. So why would you waste that in a mission where he could end up dying? Because then at that point, I think it actually would have been a good movie with potential to be even better. I don't think it would have been great because I haven't had faith in DC movies since Dark Knight came out, and that was like in what, 2008 or something? But I think at least with a better plot, the movie would have stood a chance, and that's where it failed. The plot idea was stupid, therefore no matter how well it would have been executed, it could only be so good of a movie because the plot was dumb. Either way though, I think the average fan will probably find some note and some enjoyment out of it. If you are a die-hard DC fan who just enjoys everything they do, you'll probably like it. If you're a die-hard DC fan who actually criticizes things and has some kind of thought of how things should be, you'll probably fucking hate it. Overall, I guess if you just want to see a movie, just kind of like a senseless action movie, you want to see what they did, go for it. If you guys have any other specific questions about the movie or my thoughts on it, feel free to. Some of this might end up getting cut out because I know this ended up being way longer than I intended it to be. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it for today. Hope you all enjoyed. Sorry that you don't get to witness me doing something stupid to myself, but there's always chances in the future that I will do something stupid. Thank you all for watching. Have an amazing week, and we'll catch you in the next video. Also, if you guys missed it, I'm either streaming right now or will be streaming soon on the Horizon channel. So if you want to click links here down below, I'll have it like in the description. If you want to click down there and check me out there, that is awesome. Let them know that I'm doing a good job and then they won't kick me.